What's up, SNA Assassinators? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video, and this is the NXT review on January 28th, 2024. And I'm just 2025. I ruined it. Anyways, yeah. But yeah, January 28th, 2025. And we're going to be talking about what exactly went down on this latest episode of NXT, which we got two championship matches that are confirmed, both the men's and women's championships, and the challengers that has finally been revealed, and a very masterpiece of a main event for the women's tag team championship match. And we saw Trick Williams really have a good night tonight, along with Ava. Well, partially it's because of Trick, but we're going to get things started off with the most prestigious talk shows in all professional wrestling, most specifically WWE. Yes, sir, ma'am. I'm talking about the Grace of All effect with with the, with the, uh, with the hometown. Wait, what am I talking? No, yeah, we're not going to get into that. The Grace of All effect features Bailey. I mean, Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, like of A Town Down Under, which we all know Austin's the hometown son, I guess you could say. That's what they refer him to. Well, they didn't exactly say it that way, but that's what they basically were saying. But this is where we get attacked in our tag team. But first, we got a tag team. We got the tag team match between what's his name? Bailey and Julia against Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. And yeah, this women's tag match just alone was really fantastic as well. I would say silver trophy of the night for sure. Not just because it's the opener. It's because it's just that the women. You got the women's wrestling division and NXT is just nothing but great things down there in the division. But this is where we got things started with Roxanne and Cord and trying to go for an attack onto both Julia and Bailey. But this is where they about to fight with them. But this is where we got. This is where Perez trying to go for sunset flip into what they call a schoolgirl. But this is where Julia then hits with a knee strike, trying to go for an arm bar. But this is where Roxanne just trying to go for another roll up, but ends up getting denied by 2.4. This is where we got Roxanne Perez trying to go for a handstand, trying to go for a bridge pin, but this is where she ends up getting rolled up by Julia. But this is where she gets denied by 2.7, was it? Yeah. But that's where we got Vic Joseph even pointed out about Atlanta, like it being the place where Booker T won his first tag team championship when he was in WCW. And I was like, wow, like I did not know that I did not know exactly that, and I'm being serious right now. And what a hilarious coincidence. But this is where we got. This is where Roxanne Perez hit the right hand to Bailey when Bailey goes for a wrist lock. This is where we got Cora Jade then attacked herself in the ring. When Bailey got very frustrated and chased after Roxanne, she immediately went for a tag onto Cora Jade. This is where the Cora Jade like, you guys worry about me now. This is where Bailey's like, okay, follow me with pleasure. This is where she hip tosses her in the ring, go for a snapmare, hits her with an elbow right to the back onto her former fan or idol or whatever you want to call her. This is where Bailey. All right, bye, Birdie Bird. This is where we got Bailey that throws Cora Jade right into the middle ropes. This is where we got. This is where she tried to go for a trip, but this is what. Then Cora Jade would run over under the ropes. This is where she goes for like a wheelbarrow like roll up. But Bailey counted out of that. This is where they start turning around to try to go for a waistline. But this is where she tags in. What's her name? Cora Jade repeatedly forearm strikes right into the midsection. This is where we got Bailey then go for a forearm. This is where we go go for. This is where we got Bailey then going for. This is where Bailey goes for double knees. This is where we got. No, it was Roxanne Perez that put right to the upper right side. This is where she was about to hit the double knees. Looked like something similar to her best friend, well, one of her wrestling friends, which I cannot talk about maybe not until the next 24 hours. But this is where we got Cora, what's her name, Bailey, go for a suplex. Right after Cora Jade over attack. This is where we got, what's her name, in a running knee, shining wizard knee strike. Julia, this is where we got her go for a suplex on the hurt while Bailey do suplex on the Roxanne. Julia and Bailey try to go for double Irish whip right to Cora, not Cora, Roxanne. This is where they got hands way too early. This is where they get slammed back first while Roxanne threw both of them with Bailey right to the bottom rope along with Julia. This is where she goes for a suicide crossbody dive. But right before she did that, she tagged in Cora. This is where Cora Jade then hit a cannonball right on to the baby faces. This is where then they start doing it. This is where then her and her best friend Roxanne Perez did their taunt poses, like by giving each other a side hug. This is where like, oh, like, what about what happened to you and Julia? And it's like, oh, what happened to you and Julia? With her in a sarcastic voice. This is where we got Cora Jade go for a hip suplex onto what, who was it? It was Julia, yeah. This is where they start going for forearm strikes, right hand to the face. This is where we got the powerful force and all the professional wrestling came on, which was the commercial break. But once they got done with the advert, this is where we got. This is where we got Bailey was in control, and this is where she goes for a jawbreaker. This is where Bailey goes for a macho woman elbow drop. This is where we got Roxanne Perez grab onto her legs. This is where we got. This is where we got Cora Jade and went up in a Shining Wizard knee strike or pump knee strike, whatever you want to call it. When after the successful distraction from Roxanne Perez, this is where we got. This is where we start going for a double team onto onto the onto the former NXT and the WWE Women's Champion. This, this, this is where fans are chanting Roxy sucks, Roxy sucks, if I'm not mistaken, if we're talking about another women in the match. But this is where then we got Roxanne Perez to start kneeing her knee right into the back of the head of Bailey, which she was getting that face first right into the ropes with her. And this is where the fans are chanting. Oh no, yeah, continue to chant their chants while the referee was like, all right, that's enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we got. This is where we got. This is where Roxanne Perez of the European Uppercut. This is where the fans are chanting, "Let's go, Bailey!" And this is where Roxanne. Well, after she did that, she did the wavy Bailey buddies, like that Bailey killed about 5.5 years ago. Hopefully, I didn't upset Bailey for saying that, but I'm just saying this is where Roxanne Perez was mocking her by doing that maneuver. Like this is where did she go? This is where she ended up getting hit with a DDT. But that's where Roxanne Perez was trying to prevent her from keeping her from tagging in Julia. But that's where we got Roxanne throws Bailey right into the left side, right into the middle ropes. This is where we got her tagging in Cora Jade, when she goes for a back elbow drop. This is where we got Roxanne Perez go for a springboard moonsault. This is where we got Cora Jade going for a pin. This is where we got Bailey kicking out. This is where we got. This is where Bailey starts screaming her lungs out. This is where right after hitting that maneuver. This is where we also heard Cora was screaming, but not because out of agony, out of anger. This is where then we got her going for a headlock. This is where Bailey then was trying to find a way to right out of him, out of her hitting her headlock maneuver. Okay, here you go. This is where we got Cora Jade go for a trip right on to Bailey. This is where she goes for a back elbow. Bailey move her out of the way. This is where we got. This is where what she did. This is This is where we got Bailey, then hit a Bailey to belly. This is where we got right after she went for an attack to Julia. Be careful doing that. Trey. Be careful. I got sensor. This is where we got. This is where Bailey managed to get the hot tag from Julia. This is where we got. Here we go. You're welcome. This is where then Roxanne Perez going for a discus clothesline when Roxanne Perez was running to the side. This is where we got Julia recollected the former NXT Women's Champion. This is where we got her then going. This is where she Irish whip Cora Jade right to the right side, hit a big clothesline. This is where she hits elbow strike. This is where then she goes for a hammerlock. With that, like a hammerlock pop-up hip suplex right onto the former champ. This is where we got. This is where we got Roxanne Perez was gone when Julia go for her elbow drop or elbow strike. This is where no one was home. This is where she tried to go for the tap, but she ended up getting kicked right to the face with a middle drop kick when Julia was in the middle rope. But with all the miracles in the world from God, she kicked out of the maneuver. But 2.7 was it? This is where we got her tag. This is where she Irish whipped over to the right side. This is where Cora Jade then gets tagged. This is where Cora Jade or Roxanne Perez try to hit her with a body slam. But this is where she for her out. This is where Cora Jade trying to go for a forearm strike. This is where she ends up getting hit right to the head in the face instead. Roxanne. This is where Cora Jade nearly gets beaten with the surprise rope of the devastation. This is where we got. That's where we got what's her name? Julia go for a knee strike, but then still gets a kick out. Or not kick out, a meddling save by what's her name? Roxanne Perez. This is where we got. This is where Bailey came in and saved the day. This is where we got her to throw Roxanne Perez back first, right onto the ring. Spine first to be the exact, right into the barricade, right in the upper right side of Barry's tombstone. This is where we got a big head right on the jaw of Cora Jade. This is where we got. This is where she tags in Bailey. This is where Bailey hits the Macho Woman elbow drop. Gets the 1, 2, 3. Winners of this match, Julia and Bailey. And a huge congratulations, even though as much as I make fun of the role model of calling her $1 Million Bailey or being the possible girlfriend of that tight end from San Francisco. But I gotta admit that was a very impressive match. But yeah, this is where they shook hands. This is where hopefully this is gonna be the last cheese. Okay. Anyways, assassinated. This is where we got. That's where then we got a vignette of Eddie Thorpe, which he's starting to get over here in the division. That's where I told. Like this where he started talking about his people of in the tribe. Like, oh, before I get into that, I want to say after Bailey and Julia shook hands, they started staring at each other a certain way, and I was like, and what was to come? But this is where we have things to come of the announcement who's going to be Julia's next opponent for Vengeance Day, or let me phrase opponents. But this is where what's his name? Eddie Thorpe talking about something with his family said. But this is where he's like, but he started talking about like, but I didn't not let fear get in the way from getting what I wanted as the NXT championship. And yeah, I lost, but I put in a perfect impression of showing that I belong here in this division in particular. This is where it's like, and there's obstacles that are in my way for becoming champion. And this is where he's like, and I'm gonna find my way back here. And then he promises that he's not broken, and he's gonna probably gonna show that he's not broken, and he's gonna get that title shot very, very soon. And when do you think that the Native American wrestler will indeed go get a shot at the belt? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. But let's move on to the next slide. This is where we got the most prestigious talk show in WWE. Most specifically, it was the Grayson Waller event, which our host Grayson Waller and his tag partner, the hometown hero, Austin Theory. And man, they were totally were pushing Austin Theory of being or let me afraid that they were they literally had Austin Theory over with the fans, like him being a potential babyface, but him could turn babyface at some point, and they even teased it like into this event, and man, they would continue doing it. But the way they did it, the second half, it was like NXT exclusive, and that's where then. That's where he's like, welcome to the Grayson Waller thing of the Grayson. He's like, oh wow. That's where he take a fit. That's where the Grayson Waller was like, before I was gonna begin, I gotta want to give right after the fans were booing his announcement of the Grayson Waller thing because they do not want to hear anything from the Aussie icon because they just think he's just a arrogant prick. But this was like, but before I begin, I want to give a quick shout out to Atlanta's favorite son, Austin Theory. And this is where fans are like A-Town down, A-Town. And that's where, that's where the Grayson, Austin Theory started bragging about. He was hanging out with 2 Chainz and wasn't it Quavo? And luckily not Tom, he didn't refer as refer to Chainz like Pat McAfee said when if what his favorite preferences about TITs or something like that. But that's where we got Grayson Waller talked up saying like we're in ATL and we're again, and the city do not know how to spell its own name, which I obviously do know, but we all know this. We're just all playing the act about what he just said here. But it's where then he gave a special introduction to the NXT champion by welcoming him as a special guest, which is Obafemi, of course. It's where then he got a big standing ovation, like if he's a hometown hero, even though he's from Nigeria, but not in the United States, nowhere in that fact. That's where fans are chanting, Oba, Oba, Oba. And that's where we got Obafemi then sat on right onto the chair. That's where then Austin Theory's like, welcome, champ. And then this where Grace was like, give me a round of applause. Look, like his outfits are pretty nice. Fans gave him a big ovation, like which we're gonna possibly gonna be seeing him as the next babyface. Like after his feud with. And that's where then he insult the fans and everybody that's from there by saying yeah, don't get too excited, like Omofemi, that's not the best spot. Like when he told Obafemi, this is where Austin Theory took offense. Like, hey, like I'm from here. This was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like no offense. Like you're gonna be like I should say not entirely, but this way like, and this where he's like, and this where then And that's why, and that's why the Nobel famous like, no, like everything is like it's supposed to be. And that's why and I understand why they censored it out. This where we heard the fans are chanting Austin Theory. That's where Austin Theory's like, oh, you want me to talk? Because he is the hometown hero, of course. That's where it's like, yeah, that's where Austin Theory was like, yeah, he achieved brave things at the age of 24. He sounds very similar to a guy like me. And he was like just like yours truly, like I became the youngest champion, the youngest Money in the Bank briefcase holder. And that's where Austin Theory then said that this this where he's like I'm a youngest world champion. I'm a youngest money break briefcase holder. Like and he was like, but wait, how am I done with Grace Wall trying to change the subject? He's like, and none of us doesn't acknowledge that. And one of us have not acknowledged that at all. He gave a very certain glance to Grayson Waller about when he said, "This word." That's what an open thing was like. Oh, that's the reason why he brought me here, like because he's gonna make me worthless, just like you, Austin. This word, and he was like, this word is like y'all, yeah, your boy Austin Theory started bragging about you winning the United States champ. Oh, before I get into that, this word we got. That's where Grayson Waller, Austin Theory said, like he's been completing like 3 straight WrestleMania matches. He'd been wrestling in WrestleMania matches like before he even signed an NXT contract, and he won tag team champion with his partner. Before that, he became the other accomplishments that I mentioned. But it's Hall of Fame. He's like, yeah, you've been bragging about y'all be tag team champions. That's where Hall of Fame did say yeah, you talk a big game, like y'all being the tag y'all being the NXT, like y'all being the WWE Tag Team Champions, but where are they? Which he he definitely roasted him. He did a ginormous roasting, if you ask me. That's where he's like, but like he was like, as soon as I get into the main roster, maybe in the next year or two, I probably will achieve those championships before y'all can even get accomplish any other goals that y'all claim are going to be because they're all about it. Like, like y'all talk a good game, like, but y'all when it comes to y'all's actions, like when y'all comes up with y'all's your word things of doing it, like backing up your words, like y'all, quite frankly, don't do so. Like you, and this word, and this word, and this word, and he said, I bet I'll be achieving all kinds of accolades, like while y'all still be hoping that y'all still get another reign as champ and reign as champ or something like that. What he said, he was like, I'm gonna win like world champion. I was like, yeah, it's true. That's where we got. That's where Grace was like, yeah, I know about that. When we were achieving our accomplishment, you were in the back in your NXT jacket, like sipping in your little kitty-sized juice box, hoping and wishing and praying that you get your spot in NXT. But that's where Austin Theory started bragging about there on Monday Night Raw, saying that like we're no longer in NXT. We all Monday Night Raw. We and that's where he's like, and that's where I started poking fun at Indy. I mean, poking at Oba Femi. But he's like, guys like you, like we seen plenty of time, like a top draft pick, like guys like you probably will be end up in catering. Like your guy are gonna be 6 months from then, like you're gonna be selling shirts at the indie show. And that and that's where Austin Theory was referencing like when the times like usually guys like that would be in catering. Like all thanks to his former mentor, the man that no longer is even an employee at this company. I don't think he was even an employee when he sold the company. But even if he uh, even even if he even if he was an employee, or even if he was an employee at that time, I don't think he would have be coming back here anytime soon. But that's where the fans are chanting, turn on Grayson, turn on. That's where Austin Theory then teased it. Like, oh, you wanted me to turn on Grayson? Okay, like I'm gonna turn on him. This where he kind of poked fun at. This where Grayson Waller thought he was. He was like, don't turn on me. Like, don't turn. This where he's like, that's where Austin Theory changed the subject by saying like, yeah, but we try to say, but we have unforgivable moments of everything we do. That's where Grayson, that's where Oba Femi like like you kind of talk about being champion and climbing on the ladders and WrestleMania and stuff. But everything said, like, like I don't see no titles loose. And this is what fans are saying, like, whoop. That's why the both of y'all are over y'all right now because y'all's big mouth. Y'all live, like, especially you, lad, like you, Grayson, like you got, you just keep writing up checks that your mouth is writing up checks that your mouth cannot cash. Like, like what you see me doing with these championships, I'm building a dynasty. I'm like, I agree on that. Like he started off with the breakout tournament, and then he cashed that in to become North American champion. He won that championship. It became the longest reigning championship, and it became a world. That's why then it all befit me. Then ask them like a question to him, like, okay, like how about like you like romance? Like do you like like do you like you like a championship opportunity? This where it's like how about me and one of you two at NXT Vengeance Day? That's where Trick Williams and I like that. They showed him right on the other camera in the picture in picture. But that's where it's like, which one of you guys are gonna? But that's where it's like, that's where Grayson Waller and I like if like that he said that's where it's like, how about like yeah, like you like I'm not trying to speak to my boy Theory here, even though he was kind of was. That's where it's like why dare you say that about me? Like a guy that made guys famous such as John Cena, Kevin Owens, and others. That's where then Ava came out with her music, which it was some new theme music, which I don't think she ever had her own theme music before. I think this is her first one, to be the exact. This where then what's her name, Ava, let know who was in charge, who was in control on the book matches possible. This is where we got Trick Williams came out, like after Ava was scolding the NXT champion. That's where Trick Williams was face to face with Oba Femi. That's where fans are chanting whoop that trick. That's where then we got Austin Theory trying to go for a cheap shot. Trick Williams close on Austin Theory. That's where they darting right into the face onto Grayson Waller. That's where he throws him out of the way. But that's where I got Oba Femi picks him up, hit a big old pop up power bomb, like which was like Kevin Owens maneuver, but the way he did it was gave you like Gunther vibes. Like he don't feel like a heel or a baby face. He's more like a guy to face anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. But that's where then Vic Joseph pointed out, like he has a match against Wesley. Like what is Oba did right there? But what are your thoughts on this? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. Like, do you think that we could be seeing? Could we see this can turn into a multi-man match? Let me know down in the comments down below. But this is where we got. But the way I see this, I would say, I think the way I see it, I would say we can see it could be one of A-Town down under, if not both of them. So they could tease like some kind of a split right here in some capacity down the line. I hope it won't be in the Hopefully it won't be on N. Hopefully it won't be NXT exclusive when they do split from one another. But they could kind of tease it right here, but they won't be actually doing it until they go to Monday Night Raw and do the splits. And no, I'm not talking about doing it like with your legs. But anyways, but that's where we. But that's where we got All American was being advertised by WWE on the screens. We got there on the same broadcast channel of CW. But this is where we But this is where we got Sarah Schreiber start asking questions to Easy Dizzy Dame about about what about what if about what was that about helping her with Tony D'Angelo. That's why the Stacey Davis. Oh, Sarah, I think everybody want to know what's going on between me and Tony, but like, sorry, I hate to say this, or maybe not. Like, there's nothing going on because we're not even friends. Like, we just share a common enemy out of Sean Spears. Because long story short, like, because Sean Spears was stalking me, Tony D'Angelo was coming to help out and do me a favor with no cause because he has some problem with it. He's like, boom, so baba boom, baba boom. That's all we have. That's why we get. But that's why then Rich Hollins was like, "Oh, right, that's true. Like, or you're lying because you're a liar. Because I'll be NXT champion if you didn't boot me right to the face with your meddling, uh, instigating that." And that's why then Channing Stacks Lorenzo, as a gentleman as he and his brothers Luca and Tony is, as much as he is, that's where he's like, hey, you don't talk to a lady like that. Like, you have a problem here? That's where Rich Hollis, oh, like, you want to get into my business so bad? How about we have a match tonight, right here, right now? And that's where we got, and that's where we got, but this is where we got security guards on, break them up. Like, hey, like, come back, like, step back here, like, calm down. This is where then we got Trick Williams and come in, try to come into the match. This is where we got. But this is where we got. But this is where Trick Williams is still was trying to recover from his brutal beatdown from the NXT champion. Well, only one slam, which was the Papa Powerbomb from the champion that beat him about a couple weeks ago at NXT New Year's Evil. But that's why we got Wes Lee then came in and was getting prepared for his match against the former NXT champion, and I mean that with respect. But this is where later on we see Ridge Holland take. Oh no, this is where it was later on confirmed that Ridge Holland and Channing Stacks Lorenzo gonna be in the match. Who do you think's gonna win that match? Let me know in the comments. I mean, you never know because Channing Stacks Lorenzo is starting to look like a star himself, and not being like over the shadow of Tony D'Angelo. He looks like a guy that looks like a star in his own right. And I think he will be a single champion just like his kayfabe brother, Tony D'Angelo, of the D'Angelo family. But this is where we got Wesley. They got things started when he go for a headlock. This is where he Irish whip Trick Williams right to from the upper right corner side to the bottom left. This is where we got. This is where we got Trick Williams trying to go for a close. This is where we got. This is where we got Wesley throwing punches left, right, right, left. This is where we got. This is where Wesley would then got stopped by the referee. The referee's like, "You gotta stop right here." This is where this is where we got Wesley's like, "You don't stop, Wesley. You don't stop me." This is where we got Wesley came in and tried to grab on to Wesley. This is where Wesley started going for strike kicks. This is where he goes to the right corner side. This is where he gets hit with a drop kick. This is where we got try to go for a pin, but this is where we got Wesley get denied with a kick out by Trick Williams. This is where we got. This is where we got Wesley grabbing on his ears like, "Yeah, you you're just yeah, like just a normal kick." Out like yeah, like I was expecting it. This is where he go for a right hand. This is where you got Trick Williams is like no, yeah, like you did not want to do that. This is where something snapped at him. This is where he had the big old right hand. He's cutting him with a big old right hook. This is where he got Trick Williams to come in. This is where then he went face. This is where he was so intimidating to the point that he pushed back Wesley's new minions or bodyguards of allies, I guess you could call, because yeah, which was Tyree Gagru and Tyson DuPont. That was very that was very, 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 I'll say, intense of Trick Williams' uh, offensive anger. This is where we got, but this is where Wesley sent him face first right on the L&D announce table, hit a meteor from the middle corner apron. This is where he right on top of him. This is where then we got to the powerful voice of all of professional wrestling, the commercial break. what they got done with the advert. This is where we got Wes. This is where Trick Williams was in control with a comeback. This is where he was about to hit him with the knockout blow he would call the trick shot. This is where we got. This is where we got Tyreek Gangrel and Tyson DuPont. Then grab onto what's his name, Wesley in time. This is where Trick Williams. Okay, that's fine. This is where then he immediately ran up right on. This is where we got Tyreek Gangrel that came in trying to get involved, which it was probably not a smart idea. Which she was feeling his feeling the consequences of his actions. When Trick Williams hit a big old right hand hook right into the outside. This is where then we got. This is where then. This is where we got what's his name. This is where we got Trick Williams through the hip toss. Wesley hit a cannonball, which he cannonball right on to Tyson DuPont. This is where we got Trick Williams through Wesley right back in the ring. This is where Trick Williams got back in the ring. This is where I was like whoa, but I gotta say that Tyreek should have not got involved if he did not want to face the consequences. But this is where we got. That's why DuPont did not learn from the back when Trick Williams was hitting the punch left, right, underneath, and upper. This is where we got. This is where we got Tyreek. This is where we got Tyreek Gangrel. Then fell right to the side. This is where we started continuing to stop. But this is where we got Trick Williams kind of went a little bit too far because he threw the referee right into the diagonal side. This is where the referee's like, all right, I'm not going to tolerate this. He called for the bell. This is where he lost by disqualification, like with Mike Rome, and announced that it was indeed the former North American champion that was the winner. This is where Trick Williams was whacking every single member, like of the. This is where then Trick Williams started whacking the steel chair right into the. This is where then he let the anger get and the emotions get the better of him. This is where then he started whacking the chair. This is where he started turning to the Seth Rollins of NXT. Like with him not caring who it is, if they're in their way, he's gonna attack. But this is where Hope Femi decided to barge into Ava's what's it called in her office. This was just nobody. Oh, that's really great. Nobody do not consider knocking no more as an option. This where then and this where then Open Family's like, what's your problem? And this where like when Open Family's like, what's your problem? This where then this where then we got what's your name? This is where Ava was like, I got a bigger problem. You're one of them because you think you're over. You think you're in control of steering the ship. Like, and stop trying to overpower me. Like, because like if you would just ask me for the shot, like I was about to give you a shot at the women's. I'm thinking about the next thing. I mean, like I'll give you a shot against Grayson Waller, and like this is where he gave a shot at Grayson Waller, and this is where then Obafemi was like, oh, you're gonna give me a match against Grayson Waller. This is where he's like, but you didn't let me. Like I'm gonna put you in a match against Grayson Waller and Austin Theory in a triple threat match. Like so now, if you excuse me, I got some words that I need to get. Some words I need to get out of my chest to the former champ. This is where exactly what she did when she stepped foot outside of her office. This is where then she tried to go to the men's locker room and try to. This is where the. This is where the. This is where we got like Cedric Alexander and others. Like whoa, like Ava, what are you doing here? This is where the. This is where then. This is where Ava was like you. This is where. This is where then she asked Trick Williams was like, "What the hell?" Like while barging in because she was getting tired of others doing that to her. This is where she was like, "What the hell? What the hell was that?" And Trick was like, "What the hell was you do giving them opportunity to get down under?" This is where then. This is where she was like, "Well, I call the shots around here." This is where Trick Williams like, yeah, but kind of what kind of opportunity did they deserve to get a spot like that? This is where it's like, well, you more. This is where it's like, well, Mister Concerned about wrestling logic here in this business. Like, how about you get a shot at Obafemi as well? Like, if you could be in a tag team match alongside Whitney McKenzie down under next week on NXT. Which let me tell you, there's so many matches that were announced for next week's NXT, and then we got some plenty of hype ups for NXT Vengeance Day as well. But excuse me for a moment, if for one thing, I'll be right back. Anyway, this is where we got. This is where we got our Women's North American Championship match up next. Which is where we got. This is where we got Shotzi taking on what's her name? Taking on Fallon Henley. Was it? Yeah. This is where we got. This is where we got. What's her name? Fallon Henley was shoving. Wasn't Shotzi in the face. What are you gonna do about it? It's all senior citizen. A senior citizen of the women's division where Shotzi was like, "Oh, I'll show you, senior citizen. Here's your hands some strikes. Look desperate. Step up into Gary. Hit her with a wheelbarrow face buster maneuver. Here's what we got. Shotzi going for a senton. This is what we got. This is what we got. What's her name? Cut him out of the way. What's her name? Fallon Henley. This is where we got Shotzi go for Hurricane Rana, knocking Henley right off her feet, let her back first. This is where we got Edward Shotzi doing go. Edward finisher senton. This is where Fallon Fatal Influence teammates drag her out of the ring. This is where Shotzi did the shrug emoji and did the crossbody right on to both three alternate women in the match. This is where we got Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxton, and then was on the A for their friend Shotzi. Here's some strikes right into the face of Fatal Influences, Jasmine Nixon, JC James. This is where Shotzi tried to go for a big swift kick. This is where we got Fallon Henley grab onto the leg, knocks it right into. It was where she throws it right leg first, right into the. And she hits right leg first, right into the ring post. This is where we got Vic Joseph. It's shot. Oh my gosh, Shotzi is able to continue compete in this match. Then where we got the powerful force, partially a professional red. The picture-in-picture break was on. With Henry trying to go do everything she can to get a golden opportunity. But there's Shotzi. Gotta give her a golden opportunity to hit her with some kind of maneuver to conventionally take down Shotzi. But Shotzi got out of one of their moves, hit her with a senton, cannonball like Majiggy maneuver. That's what we got. Shotzi trying to go for a DDT on the apron, but it's with Fallon. Her back first. Right onto Fallon, but this was Fallon hit a leg swinging kick right into the face. That's where I got Fallon him go over and back to a face buster. But this is where fans are chanting, let's go Shotzi, let's go Shotzi. And we got this is where we got this is where Fallon Henley was this is where she was getting a little frustrated. This is where she started going for like a head leg lock again, like head with Shotzi's leg wrapped around her head is where we got Shotzi trying to go for a quick pin, but this is where we got this is where she immediately gets kicked out by Henley. This is where she keeps trying to go. This is where she go for a boot behind Shotzi. Shotzi move out of the way. Hit the step up in Zagiri. Then try to go for a sliced bread, which it was successful, but this is where it ends up getting denied with a kick out at 6. But this is where fans are chanting, this is awesome, 2.6. This is where we got. This is where the fans are repeatedly saying that, but Shotzi was going up in the top rope. I was agreeing, like, yeah, this is why he's going to keep getting the bronze trophy of the night. That's only if Bianca and Naomi versus the Meta Girls will be successfully executed. Which by the way was, but this is where we got. But this is where we got Shotzi then counter and hit a suplex facebuster maneuver. That's where she goes for what they call it. That's where Shotzi goes for once she counter out of an avalanche suplex from Fallon Henley. That's what she did, like a bow and arrow hand gesture. That's where Shotzi hits a key, what they call a senton. This is where Shotzi tried to go for a pin. But this is where we got. This is where she tried to go for a pin, but this is where we got Fallon Henley kicks out at 2.7, was it? Yeah. This is where we got Fallon Henley go for a wrist lock. She kick right in the gut. This is where she tried to go for a pump handle slam, but this is where Shotzi counter into an inside cradle. But this is where it immediately gets denied at 2.8, if I'm mistaken. This is where we got. This is where Shotzi tried to go for a sliced bread, but this is where she gets denied by getting hit right into hit her right to the top rope. I go for an avalanche maneuver, but she decided to go for like a tree of woe instead. When Fallon Henley must have let her know lightning does not strike twice. When she knocked her on the top rope, that's where she made her get trapped right with her bad leg right onto the top turnbuckle. Then she gets hit with a double foot stomp. That's where she gets hit with an exploder suplex. This is where we got Fallon Henley with a famous serve, hit her with a 1-2-3, retain her women's North American Championship. But not so long after, with her celebration, is where she got met with an interruption. That interruption was none other than the Chilean women's wrestler herself, and the Dark Angel, of course, not to mention. This is where we got. This is where we got Fallon Henley. Then when turned around, is where she was like, "Hey." She was like, I'm still in North America anytime, any place. I'll gladly Yeah, hit that championship. Now, then somebody tell me she would probably would change her mind if it was exactly tonight, using her match that she faced against Shotzi as an excuse. But that's where Carmen Petrovic was like, "Hey, it's good to see you, Kalani. This was thank you for having my back against Jada Parker. Like you're just such a good friend." Like she was like, and that's why she was like, "Oh, I see what's happening." Klein responded by saying, "Like, oh, you really came out there for you." And that's what Cartman was like, "I got done, but because we're friends." And all. That's where this was like, "No, I did it for myself. Like, I." That's why she's like, I got to see what's happening. Like, you really think I'm really helping them and came out there for you? Like, no, like, I have beef with Chad Parker and I didn't do it for you. She was like, and I see what everybody's talking about you. She's like, yeah, like it's clear that you're delusional of you, like it has nothing to do with the Asante. Like, I didn't mean it that way. This was like, and she was like, and the one thing, and that's where then Kalani George like, yeah, like one thing that was for sure that Jada Parker was right about, like you should be listening to is like it's only just a matter of time that Ashante's gonna leave you at any time, like in the foreseeable future. And that's where then Carmen Petrovic did not like when she was talking about her man like that. She was like, "What a bitch." And I was like, "Yeah, I agree." Like, and how would you know that Asante will leave her, even though he showed signs like that a year ago? But that's the thing. That's him a year ago. What about now? And what would make her so sure about that? Did Carmelo Hayes did that or something? But never mind about romance right now. That's why we got All Ego Ethan Page. Then this is where he came in and and this is where we got this is where we got this is where we got what's next? It was Ethan Page taking on Cedric Alexander. This is where we and I forgot to tell you the women's match between Shotzi and Fallon Henley gets the Bronze Trophy of the night. Trick Williams versus what's his name? Trick Williams versus Wesley gets probably the fourth place spot, considering like this was a storyline, but it ended in very much controversy. But that's where we got. And this is where then we got Sarah Schreiber was like yeah, like you said, you put in a tag team match which is gonna feature Trick Williams and Noble Femi against Stand Down Under. If Trick and Noble wins, then he's gonna be added to the match. I'm like, they're probably gonna build things up to stand and deliver. Something just tells me that it's not gonna be exactly. It's gonna be exactly on an A. It's not gonna be exactly in what's going. Like something just tells me it won't exactly be on on what's that called? It won't be exactly in WWE Vengeance Day where he's gonna have his rematch opportunity at. It's probably gonna be at Stand and Deliver, but let me know about that in the comments down below. Here's where we got Ava was. This is where she was interviewed by. That's where we got what they call a backstage interview with her. But this is where we not so long after we saw. But this is where it's like this word and this word and this word and this word and Church right asking what's so far with her. What's going on with her so far? This is where she's like, wish it could be for the better. Wish I could say that, but Trick Williams and Obafemi are thinking that they're in control of NXT and stuff, like thinking they're overpowering. That's what they're like. But I can tell, other than that, like NXT is at its best right now, like including the women's division. And Julia is gonna. This is what she was like. She's the and Julia, for an example, she's the best competitor. And then, as a matter of fact, I put her in the champs. But that's where Roxanne President erupted her immediately without her finish. That's what she's like. You're really gonna put you're really gonna put Julia. You're gonna have Julia put that NXT Women's Championship against Bayley, weren't you? And then that's where and that's where then what's her name? That's where Abel's like, no, I'm not gonna be doing that. Like if you let me finish, that's where just that's where the that's where the Roxanne Perez was like, oh, you saying because that Bailey pinned me? Like, no, like Bailey did not pin me. She pinned Cora. This is where Cora took offense to this. This was like, oh, really? Like, she gonna be talking to me like that? This was just like, this where the she was like, this where we got. This was like, oh, really? Like, she gonna be put me under the bus like that? That's where they put Roxanne Perez like if anybody deserves a championship, it should be me. That's where that's what Ava said. Well, that's what exactly what I was trying to get to. Like I was like, it will be Julia against you and Bailey in the triple threat match of Vengeance Day, and that's where then we saw Cora Jade muttered something out like when her taking that particular offense by walking out. That's where then Roxanne Perez like, yeah, I know, like I didn't mean it that way. This is where we saw what's her name, Ava and Sarah Schreiber start shaking their head. Like it looked like they got some making up that they got. They definitely got some making up that they need to be doing or something like that. They had a whole lot of making up to do, I should say. Yeah, but this is where we got Cedric Alexander didn't have that frustration trying to get some justice for him and his kayfabe nephew Javon Evans. Like just start stomping on him repeatedly because Trick Will. I mean, I'm talking about Ethan Page, like put him and Javon through hell by breaking breaking Javon's jaw and breaking his fingers. And that's where then he sent him like the turnbuckle after turnbuckle after turnbuckle. That's where he sent him right to the bottom right. So that's where we got Cedric Alexander sends Trick. I mean sends Ethan Page right to the corner. This way we got Ethan Page right over a closer. He immediately dug, threw him right to the left side, hit him a missile drop kick. And this is where we got Cedric Alexander start going for leg swiping kicks. This is where we got him picking up Ethan Page. This is where he hits him with a knife edge chop, which he was like, ah, my chest. And this is where he throws him right to the left side. This is where we got what's his name? This is where we got this is where we got what's his name? What was the name of? This is where we got Cedric Alexander go for a drop kick. This is where we got Cedric Alexander go for a boot, but this is where he gets hit with a right hand by Ethan Page. This is where we got Cedric Alexander hitting repeated right hands right into the face to beat the hell out of him. This is where we got Ethan Page then try to grab on to Cedric Alexander. This is where he try to go for a suplex, but this is where we got Cedric Alexander flip right out of it. This is where he tried to go for a German suplex on the Ego wrestler. This is where we got Ethan trying to grab onto those fingers that he broke with that toolbox a few weeks ago. This is where one thing pulled him away, hit him with a big old uppercut with his good hands. Like they're like, oh, you want fingers? Take this. Now, boom, and it was in full, complete strength, knocking him out in the process, knocking him right off the top corner ringside area with the referee was saying like, start right, stop it, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we got. This is where we got. This is where then he tried to go, trying to grab on and try to pull off the cast off the wrist of the bad hand. This is where Cedric Alexander. And then Cedric Alexander started fighting despite his what they call his cast on his hand was off. This where he was trying to my hand until he gets hit face first right onto the ring post. This is where he debates and go for a wrist lock. This is where he knocks the bad hand with wrist lock and slams it right to the ring post. And it was definitely a guarantee that he's permanently injured. After that, this is where we got Ethan Page that started saying like, yeah, like I got your wrist. Like, are you looking for this right here? Like, yeah, don't worry, Dr. Page is here. This is where we got Beeman Vic Joseph was saying, you sick freak, and this is where we got what's his name? Ethan Page throw what's his name? Cedric Alexander right into the corner. This is where we got Cedric and this is where we got Ethan Page throwing punches right, left, right. This is where we got Cedric Alexander or no, what I'm talking about. This is where we got what's his name? Ethan Page and Cedric Alexander start grab onto his hand, start bending it. This is where we got him just throwing him head first right onto the ropes. This is where he's like, my hand. This is where we got Cedric Alexander sends what they Ethan Page right to the corner with he tried to charge at him. Cedric Alexander tried to get into the corner. This is where he tried to go for it again, but he ends up moving again. This is where we got Wesley at the step up insecurity. This is where we got Wesley hit the middle drop kick right in the back of his head. This is where Wesley barely knew where he was at. But this is where once he got back up, he Irish whips Cedric Alexander, hits him with a body slam. This is where we got what's his name hits a brainbuster. It was what's his name? This is where we got Cedric Alexander hit a body slam. This is where he fought at him with a triangle choke. This is where we got Ethan Page and was trying to escape, but this is where he was fading away. But this is where he gets thrown right to the right side. This is where Wesley hits a boot right to his face and insecure. This is where Wesley is trying to go for a springboard flip into an insecure. Nearly about to make me proud, even though this was his move before. It was your boy Super Ninja Austin. This is where Ethan Page kicks him right to the head, hit him with the ego's impaling. The ego impaler, I guess you could call it. But it's where he tried to do more punishment, trying to break more other bones that are broken, like along with his hand. But this is where Javon Evans was there to come for the save and help save his uncle. What's his name? His uncle Cedric. This is where we got Ethan Page and hit him with the right hand. This is where he hit him right repeatedly. This is where he closed him out of the ring. But this is where then Javon Evans sent him packing went right to the way. This is where what's the name found? It was I could have 1 second of celebration until that standing for Kurt and interrupted me. Like, let me tell you something. This is where what's her name? JC Jane. What if she purposely or intentionally interrupted Val by saying like, yeah, you don't interrupt the celebration of our girl, the North American champion. Again, this is where she was like, you're gonna pay like and like you're gonna pay like this come Vengeance Day, like Fallon is gonna show you like Vladimir, like you don't cross fatal influence. This word and found Emily didn't agree. This was like, yeah, exactly. And if Ava approves this, then how about we do a match between like how about you face JC Jane, like JC Jane face my girl JC in a match next week. Like teasing what they call a breakup between these three. At least like two on to the one, I should say, in this point. Are we gonna see a split between let's say 1/3 of them? Yeah. But what are your thoughts on this feud? And do you think that this is perfect? This is the perfect stepping stone for Stephanie McCurry, and also a tease of a split whether Fallon Henley does retain her women's North American Championship or not against Stephanie McCurry. Let me know down in the comment section right down below. As well, I like how WWE's doing with them, like acknowledging this and acknowledging that, and and not make and kind of planting those seeds in some sort. Let me rephrase that. And once they get there, like when then when that plant. When they plant out into a ginormous flower, then we can finally see them feuding down the lines. While we, but yeah, but that's where we got the match of the night, which was the Women's Tag Team Championship between Bianca Belair and Naomi against the Meta Girls of Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. We all know what, well, most of us knew. But at first I was like, should I, like, who should I pick that is going to win? But which we kind of teased of a split between the EST and the glowing one before, considering who attacked Jay Cargill, of course. But also, this is where we got, but this is where we got this fight to start off with. It could be anybody's fight, like on my review video, like I talk about like with the Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. Like this was kind of similar to that in wrestling. It was like a women's wrestling version of that. But this is where we got things start off with. Who was it? Bianca? No, it was Naomi and Jakar Jackson, or excuse me, Miss Jackson. This is where we got Miss Jackson kip up from a headlock, a scissors headlock from Naomi. Once she hit her with a normal headlock slam and a normal headlock at first. But this is where we got Jakar Jackson go for a wrist lock, but Naomi goes for one on her own. This is where we got Naomi hit a drop kick. This is where we got her tagging in Bianca Belair. But this is where Bianca, once she was about to hit her with a spinning body slam onto Miss Jackson. This is where we got Jay Cart. What am I talking about? This is where we got the bougie bully that went face to face with the EST, something that we never thought we would see in 2025. This is where Booker T was like, oh yeah! With him hollering, saying, let's go. This is where we got, surprisingly, Lash Legend was in control on the Bianca, but this is where once he pushed Bianca right in the corner, this is where we got Bianca Belair flip right out of the back suplex. This is where she sweep her off her legs because she must like the Karate Kid. This is where she hit the moonsault. This is where we got, let's see, an Irish whip right to the upper right side. But this is where we got Jay Cargill counter. This is where we got Bianca Belair go for a leaping. But this is where but before she did the backflip dodge, this is where she did a kiss, like the kiss my tush kind of gesture to what's her name to what's her name, the Lash Legend. Is where she goes for what they call it, fine head scissors. Hopefully I don't sound very odd right now, but this is where we got. This is where we got Jay. I'm about to call Jay Cargill. Lash Legend going for a power slip. This is where she goes for a cartwheel to a moonsault. This is where she goes for a pin. This is where we got Bianca Belair kicking out of that. This is where we got. This is where we got Lash Legend picking up Bianca Belair after hitting the moonsault. This is where we got. This is where she's trying to go for a super, but Bianca Belair going for a suplex of her own. This is where. But this is where they keep countering out of one another. This is where we got. But this is where we got a missile drop kick. This is where we go for a suplex. This is where we got. This is where both women got brought up. This is where they did their poses as the EST and Bougie Bully. But this is where we got Powerful Force and all the professional wrestling came on, which was a commercial break. But once they got done with the adverts, this is where we got Naomi gets tagged in. This is where she going at it with what's her name, with Lash Legend. This is where we got. She did a pretty cool sliding clothesline spot, but once Lash Legend was in control, she hit her with this like reverse, what they call crucifix slam, face first right into the with Naomi right into Tina Turnbuckle, tag in what's her name? Jakar Jackson. She hit a couple of hits onto the former women's championship. This is where she gets tagged. This is where she goes for a splash. This This is where we got. This is where we got. What's her name? This is where we got. What's her name? They show a picture-in-picture footage of backstage with with Cora Jade being very frustrated. This is where that she was like how, and this is where that she was like I'm so mad right now. We need to tell. This is where the what's her name? Uh, assured her. What's her name? Ava like let her know that she was on the phone, but she was talking to right into her office. Is where she was like, okay, fine. This is where they got. This is where she walked right out of out of the area. This is where we got. This is where we got Bianca Belair. That was running control. This is where the. This is where we got. This is where we got Bianca Belair was in control. Make a comeback when Naomi hit a big old hot attack, hitting the big right hand in the bottom left corner against Jakar Jackson. Then hit a Hurricane Rana onto Lash Legend. This is where Bianca Belair picks up Jakar Jackson in a gorilla press slam. This is where she hits back first right to the corner. This is where Bianca Belair then going right up into the bottom corner side, hit the springboard into a moonsault. This is where we got her going for a pin. This is with a picture perfect position. But this is where Jakar Jackson kicked out at immediately 2.2 or 2 even. I mean, it was 2 even actually. I apologize for that. But this is where we got Bianca Belair going for a gorilla press. But this is where I go with a spine buster with Bianca, with Naomi hit the springboard against Akiri. But this is where we got Lash Legend hitting the splash right directly on her. But this is where we got Lash Legend going for a big forearm strike. But this is where Bianca Belair countered out of it, hitting her with a KOD in the process. But this is where we got. But this is where we got Lash Legend going for a flip right over to her. This is where we got. But this is where we got Bianca Belair got sent right on the outside. This is where we got Jakara Jackson and suicide dive onto her, like to make sure that she won't say it. This is where we got a swift kick when Lash Legend hot shotted her hot shot Naomi when she was trying to run and attack her. This is where she gets hit with an insecure. This is where Lash Legend go for a call tag. This is where you grab on the Naomi into a wheelbarrow maneuver. This is where we got. This is where we got Jakar tag to the cutter. They probably would have gotten away with it and become the new women's tag team champions if it wasn't for a meddling certain EST woman, which was the team of which I was teaming with the Glow woman. But this is where we got. But this is where all the women were down except for Bianca. That was Lincoln back into the fray. This is where she tried to reach out for her hand. This is where she tried to go for a tag. But this is where we got her to try to go for a wheelbarrow roll. But this is where we got Jakara Jackson flip right out. This is where Naomi goes for a flip of her own. But this is where she almost got near fall herself. She tags in Bianca Belair. This is where she goes for a kick right to the midsection. This is where they got both. This is where both women hit Jakara Jackson with a double KOD. This is where the Atlanta crowd was booing the hell out of them for doing this because Lash Legend's the hometown favorite to win this, but unfortunately did not go her way. And, and that's where Bianca Belair go for a pin to Carl Jackson for the 1, 2, 3, and still your women's tag team champions. And that's where WWE must have noticed this because it went immediately went off the air and went to the local news broadcast. But this is where Bianca Belair started doing their dance with her raising their championships with what's her name? With with what's her name, Naomi, with probably off the air. This is where they probably shook hands. This is where they showed. This is where they showed like a what they call it, a non-signal. What they call a no signal thing. Like what that word? There's no signal on TV. Like yeah, like the color uh, monitor of the same like WWE programming, and instead WWE Vengeance Day right afterwards. This is where then it basically ended, and then but yeah. But the one thing that had me wondering, like they also have T like a split between Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade, where they could possibly turn babyface, and maybe they could have a future match at the Stand and Deliver event, like after Vengeance Day, like with which I'm probably gonna be talking about, like probably in a different video from a different day. But yeah, I kind of noticed that they kind of teased WWE teased it right here. And do you think that we could be seeing some kind of a split between Roxanne and Cora by Vengeance Day Assassinators? Let me know down in the comment section right down below. And do you notice any kind of difference is when it comes to intentions between the two? Well, well, maybe the difference is like of tensions with Cora is kicking in, but with Roxanne's have, like we noticed, don't you notice that something that's, I'll say something different about her, like some difference about the core, like with her not, it will probably gonna turn on her and turn babyface and explain why, and like and that'll be her being fed up or be her being known second to fiddle with Roxanne or something like that. Yeah, and she was a fighter in a big caliber match, which will probably be at Stand and Deliver. And let me know if you would like to see that down in the comments below. But for now, like I would give tonight's women's NXT, they did a perfect job with everything. But not only what's to come for NXT Vengeance Day, but what's to come. And sorry, my bad, my foot kicked the webcam. But not they show what's not like not what's to come for NXT Vengeance Day, but also what's to come on NXT Stand and Deliver as well. And we also got some. They did that with the mid card, and they did with the only thing that was missing is the tag team. But the only thing they showed that was tag team related is Josh Briggs with his new ally from Pro Wrestling Noah. Like with him saying he never gave a thought to thank him. Like in this little vignette they showed there right before the Bianca Belair versus Jade. I mean Bianca Belair versus Naomi versus Meta Girls Tag Team Championship match, where it's like, yeah, like you This was like I appreciate you for taking me under your wing, like when I was in Japan, and I went and then seeing them for a token of my appreciation. Like I want to be an NXT wrestler. But let me know in the comments about this team and when you think they're going to get finally a tag team opportunity. And I sure hope that they will get that opportunity anytime down the line. But for now, it looks like Nathan Frazier and Axiom got some bigger fish uh, the batter, like with the likes of the what they call the bigger fish to batter, which was not bigger physically, but figurably, because they got the Rascals in a tag team action next week, was it? And who do you think's gonna walk out as NXT tag team? Let me know about that down in the comments. But overall, I think NXT they did a super, uh, a super remarkably, a super remarkably fantastic job on tonight's NXT. Like for being just a random episode, like maybe the episode of NXT before the Royal Rumble, like the wonder like who could be like heading over to Indianapolis to make an appearance and be in special guest, and who knows, maybe earn himself a shot at the at either the WWE Women's Championship or the WWE Women's World Championship. But that has me wondering, like, if that was possible, who could that may be? But let me know the possibilities in the comments. I'm very clueless right now who can may be, but I would say we're gonna probably just keep it that way with you guys to decide. And I would say, I hope y'all enjoyed the show, and let me know in the comments what was your thoughts on NXT tonight. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I would give NXT 4.5 stars. And give me what your opinions are in the comments. Like, do you would give it also 4.5 stars? Let me know. Just leave a comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the big thumbs up button and consider hit the subscribe and the post notification bell for more SNA videos. And make sure to check out my my wrestling news, the returning wrestling news league, which some of y'all probably were wondering. That's because I've been making other review videos like Saturday Night's Main Event, AEW Collision, and the AFC and NFC Championship games reviews, like which you can see, which you can watch. Make sure to check it out right now for those that haven't watched already. But if you've already watched and you want to watch again, feel free to do so. It's free, and it always will be free because it's going to be on my YouTube channel, and also and you will indeed will. And let me know, like, what's your thoughts on. Let me know what your thoughts on about that, like me making the news video. It's been a while, probably about, I would say, from this past for 4 days, but it's fine. Like, as long as I'm on up ahead, that's all that counts. And I hope that it will be much more of a better wrestling news video than it was this past Saturday, because I was not sounding right. Even though I'm not sounding right now, but at least you can understand me on what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna do something that's gonna cure this bogus, this irritation, what you call sore throat. But let me know. How you hear me right now in the comments down below, which I still think there's a whole lot of work that needs to be done. But I'm gonna be talking about tomorrow on going down to the wildest and intriguing wrestling news stories and rumors that you assassinators need to know from the Fightful Select article. Yeah. And make sure to check that out, because we're probably got plenty of things to talk about there. And also make sure to check out my AEW Dynamite review video when they go down to, what's that city in Alabama? But yeah, like, we're gonna be talking about all the stuff that's going on AEW Dynamite, like whatever it's called. Like, we're gonna be talking about like Max Caster and his open challenge of who's gonna take down the best wrestler alive. And we got the TBS championship match between the champion herself, the CEO, Mercedes Moné, taking on Yuka Sakazaki. And we're going to be talking about and plenty of other things that's going to go there on AEW Dynamite. And I wonder what's next onto the card. I'm going to have to check that out. But for now, I'm going to let you guys go right here for now, and wish you guys a safe and fun rest of your Tuesday night, and hopefully y'all rest, and y'all have a fun rest of your night, and hopefully y'all get some resting time and peacefully, and we'll see, and I'll see you guys like tomorrow with some more SNA content. Until we meet again, Super Ninja Austin out of here. Bye bye, my assassinators. Y'all take care and have a super, superific night. Bye bye.